The White House is crawling with kids. You have a young, beautiful baby boy. There are babies everywhere. There's so many young folks on staff who have kids. But the last 4 years under Joe Biden, parents were really stressed and ravaged. They had to take on 2 or 3 extra jobs. Depression rates were up. Suicide rates were up. You're a very high profile young mother who seems to juggle and balance it all beautifully. What advice do you have to young parents out there who are starting their careers, having kids, building families, and trying to find that balance so desperately?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad that Draco eventually came up with something that was kind of like a question after doing his little monologue there. But yeah, so Karoline Leavitt has a kid. And I have to say, it is good to finally have a press secretary with a child. Karine Jean-Pierre had a kid. Like, does he know that? Does he care? Now, I will grant you, she's a lesbian and she is Black. And either or both of those things maybe makes the kid not count. Karoline Leavitt is straight and white and married to an ancient man. None of that disqualifies her, so I guess it's a good kid and it actually counts. But anyway, as ridiculous as that question is, should we focus on that? The lies in what he said about how everybody's really struggling financially before, but now with the economy crumbling, we're doing better and everybody wants to get knocked up? Maybe that logic flies in the common room of Slytherin, but it doesn't make sense to me. But that, by the way, for context, was a press briefing. It's a press briefing that now Karoline Leavitt does apparently every day, not the regular one where she fills it with right-wing hacks and fake journalists. It's just the fake journalists. It's just right-wing influencers or whatever. Not even asking questions, not even pretending that the press is supposed to be a check on power. They're literally just they're taking turns fluffing her and fluffing Trump so that their base, which wants to see nothing but fluffery, believes that they're being good, loyal foot soldiers for the fascist regime, Sharon. It's pathetic.
Yeah, it's pathetic. What a kiss up. The question has to be longer than the answer. We didn't need to hear the answer, but it's like, what's your favorite color? Okay, were you a Girl Scout? Like, it's just so pathetic. And you're right about the lies, as if women didn't have children that came through the White House in the previous Democratic administrations. I've heard them talk about it, Jen Psaki, about bringing her kids there. The whole thing is just a farce. And I wondered why no one else in the room, unless I didn't have my glasses on watching it, wasn't looking like or snickering, just like, come on, dude. Because you said it. This is their crew, and this is what they're there to do. I mean, who's paying for them? I want to know that. I want to know thoughts on that, because if it were the other side, then we'd hear something about George Soros and just, I don't know. The whole thing is just, there's so many things that you have to do. And you're standing there with someone kisses you're behind.
I mean, I imagine Karoline Leavitt will eventually get tired of this. Trump could probably do like 8 hours a day for months and months, because that's what he lives on, that in McDonald's. But yeah, I don't understand the point of any of it. It's just utterly pathetic. But again, like, everything they say, every attack is projection. They say that it's fake news when you're tough on the president or whatever. So what's real news? It's just a bunch of people that would let Donald Trump just shoot their family members in the head and they'd cheer it at the end, just not even asking questions. Like we talked yesterday on the show, there was the woman, the journalist, who's like, she's not nuts and bolts. She's a nerd for the news. And she asked Karoline Leavitt, what should I be investigating? What should I be doing? She was literally asking the propagandist what she's supposed to do. That guy, I don't even know what the point of it. Like, I don't know what the point of any of this is. It's really, really pathetic. And I know they think they're having the last laugh. Draco's making tons of money doing propaganda for the regime or whatever. But this is really embarrassing stuff, that this is your life. And I understand they're in their bubble. They would say we're in our bubble or whatever. Like, if you think that if Bernie was president, I would come in and debase myself like that. Like, would I be like happy about a progressive being? Yes. But I would still remember that this is supposed to be journalism. It's supposed to be oppositional. It's supposed to be in service of the truth, not just, again, fasturbation, just on camera for your live stream. I don't get it at all.
And didn't you feel the same way when you heard about the radio? I think it was a radio personality and Joe Biden's team, and give them the answers ahead of time. What is it? Why would I even be there to do that? And if you were the president and you don't know what I'm about to ask you, there's nothing that you shouldn't know and just expect without me sharing my data and documents and questions with you. I'd feel the same way. Serves no purpose. It's gross.
Yeah, the entire thing is just utterly gross. And there was a story on, I forget if it was The Nation or whatever, about like there were some, like people who do videos like on not maybe the left is exaggerating, but Democrats who met up with Harris's team during the election, and they all basically agreed that they weren't going to do any coverage about Gaza or whatever. But you don't work for them. You work for the people. You work for the truth. That's what matters. If it's newsworthy, it's newsworthy. But unfortunately, there's more and more people who, no, it's motivated. It's motivated fake journalism. And it's sick. And the issue is, it's not like they're doing that and nobody watches it and they don't make any money. They do it because it pays. Again, it goes back to what I said earlier this week. People want a purity. Their audience probably doesn't want to hear about Gaza because it makes them feel uncomfortable and they don't want to be uncomfortable. And I get it, life is hard or whatever, but this isn't doing any good for anybody. Let's go to a little bit more. We'll do like one more clip and then we'll move on.
So congratulations on 100 incredible days. And over the first 100 days, the majority of policies that we've seen from the Trump administration have been either targeted at foreign affairs, such as bringing the American hostages home, or attempting to end the war between Ukraine and Russia, or on long-term goals such as cutting government spending with DOGE. What policies can we expect to see rolled out over the next few months that Americans will directly feel the effects of in order to secure the 2026 midterms for the Republican Party and keep his approval rating historically high?
What was that? First of all, if you're gonna have trouble remembering the thing that you memorize, don't memorize as much. Again, that's just a tip as like a person who also does stuff on camera or whatever. But what was that? You don't work for her. She's not your boss. Trump's not your boss either, by the way. You don't have to lie for them. That was at least kind of a question. It seems like he's basically focusing on overseas stuff. What's he gonna do that's focused on here? That's kind of a question. Why do you have to throw in the lie about his approval rating? You know that that's not true, right? You know that that's not based in again, I don't have an answer. I don't want to just make fun of them for a long time. It feels like it's kind of too easy at this point. But I don't get what the point of any of this is, and it's really sad and it's really cringy.
It's Russia, North Korea-like.
It's North Korea.
And I think we can glean something from that second question. I now believe, this is my personal opinion, that they're actually giving these people the questions, and this is their propaganda hour, however long it goes on. They're giving them, this is my opinion, the questions, say, do this one, and you'll be second, Mary Beth or whatever her name is. She looks like a Mary Beth. This is almost criminal, though. You're deliberately deceiving the American people, and we're both free speech people. I want free speech, even if it hurts, but not this is not free speech. This is deliberately you can't just say anything in a commercial. You know what I mean? Because it's going over the public airwaves, and you can't just say and make any claim. It's bordering on that kind of thing, or maybe full blown.
I want free speech, but it just makes me uncomfortable to see. I feel this isn't a press briefing. This is Scott's Tots. Just on a daily basis. I feel really uncomfortable watching this. It's really, really sad. Anyway, okay. She does look like a Mary Beth, though. I think that you did nail that. But anyway, we're in really dark times in terms of the media. They should say this stuff and no one should have any respect for them and no one should watch them. That would be a world that makes sense. Again, I know that you're doing this for the money and the access to power or whatever. And you have a nicer car than me and you've renovated your kitchen. I get that. But when you get in that nice car and when you walk into that nice kitchen, you don't have your self-respect because you can't buy that back.